Today on the Hangout, we got to talk about the way of Wade. Miami don't want to pay him $20 million. Is he on his way out of Wade County? And Freddie H, a.k.a. the mayor, is the new bench boss in Chi-Town. Can he get the Bulls past LeBron next year? And we got to recap Game 1 of the Finals. LeBron was awesome quarters 1 through 4, but he disappeared in OT. Kyrie disappeared too, and the game was lost. Hang out! Basketball fans, welcome into the Hangout, Canada's home for talking hoops. And right now, we are smack dab in it. Game 1 of the NBA Finals went off without a hitch for the Warriors, who is Dan Gladman's pick for the champion since, I think he picked him like last year, right? Is that correct?
I don't know if I picked them last year. I think I picked them in this series.
Okay, you picked them in this series.
At some point, I had the Clippers. I don't know.
So many misguided people with those Clippers.
True.
Fresh out of his bed. You can tell by his energy level.
Your intro sucked, by the way.
Yeah, you know what? It's going to be an interesting show. One of my brothers, I love him, despite all the hate that he throws at me every time he comes on this show.
Make a better intro next time, guys.
Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen,
Swap seats.
Trix, who has a comedy show that we will promote for him for free on the show.
Thank you so much, Martin Short. I appreciate that.
Which should pick up his energy level. What's the day of the comedy show again?
June 18th, bro. Hope you're there.
We'll see about that.
We're all coming. We'll all be there.
We will.
There's a height requirement. You might not be able to go.
All right, see, you know what, man? There's no show June 18th, by the way. It was just canceled. I don't know if you guys know this, but this is a show for basketball experts, celebrities, and the like.
Should I leave?
And I don't know.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah,
I don't know why Dave leaves the show.
I appreciate
Dave
it.
is actually he's the original producer of the show, oddly enough, and a very good producer over at NBATV.
A higher level since then, I'd say.
Dwayne is way better than you.
Original
Yeah.
producer.
He's an
Solid
original producer. But quickly, you also cover the team on the road, and you'll be with me in Las Vegas for some
Absolutely. Working on Raptors broadcast. We survived 11 days in Las Vegas last year.
what a time.
Try to
They
do
won't
that
this
again.
year.
All work, of course.
Okay, time. Okay, all right. Enough with all the pleasantries, guys. Let's get into it. Wow. Game 1 went down, and wow. It was an epic game right up until the end of the fourth quarter. Tight game back and forth as we look at how this thing's going to break down schedule-wise. Game 1, of course, in Golden State at Oracle. But was anyone surprised on this panel at how close Game 1 was? Because you talk about the fact that Vegas has got the Warriors as the overall favorite in this series, and most people, the overall sentiment is Warriors are going to win. Dave, join in.
This was the game I think Cleveland had to win. Coming into it, you knew that Golden State had 0 finals experience. You knew that LeBron James was going to come out as the best player in this series. I felt that he obviously played as well as he could possibly play. They hit early. Golden State was there. And now this went from a dream scenario to a nightmare. Kyrie gets hurt in the overtime. You're talking about this off camera beforehand. LeBron hits that shot. All of a sudden, they get that Game 1 win, and they steal one in Golden State, which is the most important because that's a tough place to play.
What saddens me about the whole series personally is the fact that you look at Golden State, they're like the best complete team you've ever seen. Like, Steph Curry doesn't have to. It was a very quiet 26 for him.
Yes.
I didn't even notice him scoring 26. You know what I mean? But he doesn't score 26. You still have Klay Thompson does his part. You got Barnes doing his part. They have a very complete team.
But that was supposed to be the story. No, is no one surprised that even without, you didn't get a huge game from J.R. Smith. You didn't get an uncharacteristic
That's the thing.
game, but it was still close.
With LeBron scoring 44 and they still lose, just the fact that that's the best I personally think I've seen Cleveland play in a long time, and they still lost, I was just like,
Okay, first of all, I love how the NBA moved the possible Game 7 to Friday, June 19th. So we can all go to Trix.
Well played, NBA.
Okay,
well played.
That's the first thing.
So it's still going 7.
Thank you, NBA. Now, in terms of were we surprised that the game was close? Absolutely not. We knew it was going to be a close game, a close series. These are two teams who haven't been in the finals, a lot of inexperienced players. And you saw it in the first quarter with Golden State. They were rusty and a little bit nervous. Cleveland just doesn't have the depth that was on display by Golden State. J.R. Smith, we knew he's just not the guy you can count on.
Completely inconsistent.
He had a couple of great games earlier in the playoffs. He hit the 8 3-pointers. I think it was in the second round series. Was it against Chicago?
Cleveland
He'll have
record.
one game this series, maybe. Where
He is not an X factor in this series, and without Kyrie, Cleveland only has LeBron, and they are in big trouble. But that said, I don't think this was the most important game. All they need to do in their mind is win one game on the road court, and they have a chance.
I just felt that game one was that game that they had the best chance to win because of the experience. And like Golden State, we've been there, Dan, producing games. That arena is unlike any other. It is so loud. I mean, all the fans, you hear this during the playoffs, how crazy it is. And I think sometimes that gets a team overamped.
Yeah, I mean,
especially on that
also
stage.
a mental thing, too, right? You win game one on the road, it's a mental thing. You've gotten in the heads, and that's what you want to do as the road team.
If they
you want to win game one.
If they win game two, to them, it doesn't matter. Do I think they'll win it without Kyrie? Probably not.
That's
But
okay.
to them,
Yeah.
they only need to win one of those first two.
Dan hit on a point that I want to get to as Dave boxes me out of the shot. I mean, you really like these guys. But anyways, I want to
I
ask
have to
about.
talk to you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay,
I mean,
fine.
I want to feel
Fine.
involved.
Okay.
Kyrie Irving.
Wow.
I'm not even talking about the injury yet. What kind of game was that? This is a guy that throughout the entire playoffs, we haven't seen him at 100%. I think that was 130% that we saw him at.
He was very decent. I thought he played great.
Very
and
decent.
it goes back to his point. It shows you that without Kyrie, man, I might not even watch the rest of this series, to be honest. He's very
I'm going to
vital.
ask you guys about
You'll
without
watch
Kyrie, but
every
quickly,
game.
let's
No, I
talk
won't.
about his performance, though, because that was, I mean, we talk about the NBA Finals is the biggest stage in the game, right? And Kyrie Irving, this is his first trip there, inexperienced guy, first game playing the MVP, and he outplayed at certain points Steph Curry, Dave.
Absolutely, and I think this was one of those series that a lot of people were talking about, LeBron and Steph, and he knew coming into the finals that he was going to be the X factor. We see the injury there, and it's just disappointing to see because he was finally getting his game back and getting his health back, and we know how explosive he can be. I was really looking forward to seeing that Kyrie Irving for 6 to 7 games, and it's sad that right now it doesn't really look like he's going to be able to come back, but he was phenomenal. That block that he had basically saved the game.
One of the most
Cleveland.
impressive.
That could have been a series-altering play right there if he doesn't get injured a few minutes later.
All right, so the reports coming out of Cleveland, actually currently coming out of Golden State, is that no ACL or MCL damage, but they are going for an MRI later today. So as that information comes available, of course, you'll find out. But the question is now, without Kyrie Irving, can LeBron James still keep the pace that they played and keep them in? No. So we're not.
Even with him, they still are in big trouble because of the depth of Golden State, and really Curry and Irving are kind of a wash if you really look at it that way. Without Irving, even if he misses one game in this series, the Cavs, as amazing as LeBron is playing, do not stand a chance.
I don't know if they're in trouble if Kyrie plays. I don't know if they're in trouble. I think Cleveland could beat them if Kyrie plays.
Yeah.
If Kyrie plays, I can give Cleveland some games. Without him, I don't give them any games, and they'll be swept again.
Look, we saw in game one the depth killing Cleveland. I mean, Golden State just abused them in terms of depth scoring. Without Kyrie, who steps up? I think Dellavedova played out of his mind against the Hawks, but I don't think he can do that against Golden State.
Absolutely
Golden State is such a high-powered, efficient offense that even in the finals, when you see the same opponent and things slow down, I still don't think LeBron on his own has enough to outscore them.
But you know what, though? Honestly, you got to also look at these two rookie coaches. It's going to be about adjustments. You got to give. I want to see how the coaches adjust.
I love the offensive sets that David Blatt ran in game
I want
one.
to see the adjustments.
Those are great offensive sets that he ran in grade one.
Give the ball to LeBron.
Yeah, those are grade one sets. Listen, still more to come here on, guess what? It's Hangout time, and we got to further break down this playoff NBA final battle between the King and the MVP. We got to talk about X Factors. We got to talk about a whole host of other stuff. We'll return here on Hangout.